views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
And ass, or tits and ass, like pour stuff on them, and like videos of just jiggling them, and specifically my titties on her ass doing stuff. Like, I just came up with the brilliant idea that guys would pay. It's TNA ASMR, so it would just be me slapping my boobies down on her butt repeatedly for like 5-10 minutes, and then you could just go to bed to that.
I am so into. I remember when we did the AMSR video. With like pickles and all of that. So
Yeah, it was crazy.
I prefer like listening to the ones where they have like the really soft voice.
What you really want to do is slap my titties right down on your ass.
Yeah. So I will not talk during the video at all because
No. I think if we do an ASMR TNA video, it would just be the sound of my tits on your ass.
And then we
could do like a squishy ASMR where we put something squeegee between a
squeaky in between, and then you got the
yeah. Yeah.
And then we could do.
We'd be spitting the clits of the 80s, 90s, and today.
And then we could do one where, like, you slap your boobs together.
Yeah. If you have suggestions, what would you pay for on a Clips for Sale account for my tits and her ass?
Or not even necessarily you yourself. What do you think someone else would pay for?
Listen, we're just going to assume that whatever dirty suggestion you give us is yours. And that's okay.
Your phone is are we still connected?
Yeah, we're still connected.
Okay.
We don't kink shame here. No kink shaming.
We do not.
I do got to turn on the brightness on that so the battery doesn't die as quickly.
All right, so one of the suggestions that Sierra mentioned is cream, or what was it? Sour cream.
Yeah, sour cream on your butt. It would look like cum. I could even water it down a little bit. Or we could get that creme fraiche or the Mexican crema. Just squirt it all over your ass.
We should get like spunk lube.
Spunk
lube looks like jizz.
So here's the thing. I've used
Cheese Whiz.
Cheese Whiz would be cool too.
That's what I'd be licking off my own ass.
I've used spunk lube before, and I had an allergic reaction to it.
Okay, so we'll avoid the spunk lube.
Yeah.
I just know that looks like. Guys, just really quick, I may have mentioned this on another episode not that long ago, but I found out by a prior co-host of ours that not all of the cum shots
are real.
It's not. I know. I had the same reaction. Then I went home and cried. I may have rocked holding a pillow for a while, but
Actually, I feel a lot better now.
Oh, right. No, it's not supposed to happen.
TNA ASMR. Yeah, I like TNA ASMR. That'd be cool.
That'd be amazing. And so anyway, we could find some of the different concoctions that the professionals use to look like other goods.
I believe some people mix yogurt and skim milk together.
All of this is creeping me out.
Well, she doesn't like anything gross anyways.
Luckily, I can't see it happening back there, so.
She just barely started swallowing.
I think I've done it for a moment. I still don't eat mayonnaise.
When did you start on this show? As we mentioned last week, we corrupted the fuck out of her because, she was not like this when we first met her.
True.
Although, to be fair, she was giving lap dances on her debut episode.
I did. Not only the 200th episode. I figured the best way to get comfortable is on someone's ass.
Yeah. We should do another, episode like that. Like, episode 450 would be cool. Because I don't want to wait till 500. That's 60 weeks from now. That's 5 years.
No. We could just pick one. We could just have a fun live episode somewhere.
We should do a fun live episode.
Pick a nice. We've talked before about doing it at the studios, but we'd have to do it before the evening started. Yeah. It would still be a fun environment to do so.
Yeah, we'd have to talk to them. We'll have to talk to them. We're planning a trip there soon, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah, like when you get back from the most fabulous place on earth.
Yes. 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 So guess where I'm headed? Wait, are we done talking about things we can put?
I don't know. Did we get any suggestions?
Fluffers, mix it up in a bowl and put it in a frosting bag to squirt it.
Yeah.
I mean, we could get the live shit, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But, Lisa, Toxie next, you're going to say Santa Claus is not real. I won't be the one saying that shit.
Hell no. Santa Claus exists as long as you believe. Sort of like Tinkerbell.
There you go. And I think it's been a lifetime of swallowing a memoir. That is correct. That is what my
suggestion was that?
memoir
Vendetta?
will read. Yes.
Thanks, Vendetta. You're the greatest.
And then Linda, I need to make money. Yo, we're with you, girl.
Seriously. I got a kid who wants to go to MIT. She's got a kid who wants to go to UCLA, but has changed her mind, right?
Has changed her mind because she has other things she wants to get out of her college experience. So we've broadened the horizon of the college opportunities. So, I mean, unless she plans to go to whatever school. Remember they used to have those books, and if you could trace the photo in the back for an art school, then you get to go there. I'm thinking that's around how much I got going right now for college. Like I could send her to the art school from the back of the Highlights magazine.
That's fabulous.
But, otherwise I'm going to have to squeeze some shit on that ass. So,
Yeah, help support our children going through college.
right, bye.
We might be the only moms doing porn to put our kids through college. No, we wouldn't.
We
will not be the
wouldn't.
only
Yeah, we
parents doing
wouldn't.
porn to put their kids through college. We know some of you.
Right. Dang. So we were just saying, I will be headed, what's today, Tuesday? In 2 days to the happiest place on earth, West Coast style.
West Coast edition.
What? So I'm headed to Disneyland.
That's going to be fun.
That is going to be fun. It is for my daughter's 16th birthday. So it'll be awesome. So check this out. It's my daughter, and it was 2 friends, and one friend just got in trouble and has now backed out, like days before. As y'all know, this shit is not cheap.
You have a spare ticket?
So that's a bummer.
You telling me you have a spare ticket?
So,
No?
I mean, you might gotta slip in. Here's the catch if you want to use the spare ticket. Not only is it a weekend with my daughter and her friends, / now friend, myself, one of my in-laws, but also my ex-husband.
Ooh.
So,
Well, I'll tell you from experience, vacationing with your ex for your kid is awkward the first 2 or 3 times you do it. But it's not awkward after that. As long as you maintain that separation, like you guys aren't sharing a hotel room or anything like that, are
no.
you? Okay.
No.
That gets a little
And
weird.
at one point, the suggestion was for one of the nights, and then my daughter's like, he'll just have to stay in the bed with you. And I'm like, no. We've been there, done that, and that will never happen again.
We don't do that anymore. As my ex likes to say, we don't do that anymore.
But your ex don't do that no more, no more, no more.
Like, no more, no more, no more.
No more, no more. Like,
No.
he's a born again.
He hasn't done that in a while. Does anyone want to fuck my ex? He's a nice guy. He's one of the few exes I have that I can say that about.
We've talked about this multiple times. She would like for somebody to fuck her ex.
He needs
I
to
would
get
like
laid real
to
bad.
find a nice, kind woman who will be decent to my daughter. Yeah, you don't have to be great. You just have to be decent. You just have to not talk horrible to her face to date my ex-husband. Like,
Honest to God, I think your ex-husband could date a Nazi and get better respect for your
Probably.
daughter. Mostly because she's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed beauty, but...
So just putting that out there. If anybody out there would like to date our exes, we are trying to make this happen.
We are.
So you just let me know. Gina, LOL, I know all about hanging with the ex. Surprisingly, it took us many years to get to this place. I have a decent co-parenting relationship with my ex now.
It was not like that. in the
It was
beginning.
not like that before.
But it never is. Like, if you go straight from breaking up into a decent co-parenting relationship, there's something really going on there, because you have to find your new footing, and I know that it takes a little while, and you stumble over it. and somebody out there's going to be like, no, we were great as soon as we broke up. I'm like, y'all broke up for a reason. There's hurt feelings somewhere. Somebody got hurt somewhere along
Some of
the
that
way.
somewhere. You can have my ex too.
No, thank you, Bree. I know who your ex is. And sorry.
Oh, that's so nice.
I don't.
So nice.
I'm sorry. That was terrible of
Awful.
me.
I'm so sorry. I apologize on behalf. She is new here.
I also fuck the host.
We only.
I'm just throwing it out there. Might as well. No, thank you, Bree. You can keep your ex.
For the kids' sake, anyway, it took years. Yeah. I mean, ours definitely took some time as well. It's definitely decent. Like I can have, conversations and joke around, and and it's good. Sometimes we'll meet up if, with my daughter, we'll grab something to eat, or we've, had to meet up a few times to kind of hash out things for her birthday. But it's small bursts. Like, then I get to go home. So.
But this is like 3 days in a confined, park. Are you going to spend the whole time, all of you together? Speaking of the devil, can I hit decline on that? So.
He knows what time it is.
Yeah, he does.
Anyway, yeah, so small bursts are typically okay, but
3 days.
Date RX is possible spin-off show. We've been trying since this summer. We were trying at the bashes this summer. We're like, hey, we got exes. Like, they're good-looking men.
Yeah, they're not
We
hideous.
got good exes. I mean, not for us. For someone else.
And
someone
I can give you the lowdown on all the stuff that mine's into, at least. I know you can get all the lowdown that yours is into.
I think anyone listening can get the lowdown on what mine's into.
Yeah. My ex not as kinky as I am. There is a little kink there, but not nearly as much as mine is. Might be why it didn't work out quite so well. So, but yeah, if you're interested, let me know. Anyone who's friends with me on my personal Facebook page, you can, through deductive reasoning, figure out who my ex is. I post him. I tag him in a lot of shit.
I mean, same applies if you happen to know who mine is and you're interested.
Let us know. We'll hook you up.
We'll make this happen. When we did the single dating one, I actually briefly considered
So did I.
having
but
him on.
mine doesn't date, and yours technically doesn't date either anymore.
Right this second. See, I mean, there's a little caveat to my whole thing, and that is, you might have to just wait a tiny minute to be able to date him. So,
I mean, unless you're willing to go in on a Black Ops mission with me. So 3 days in Disney. That's exciting. What is
3 days
going
in
to be the
Disney.
thing you are looking forward to doing at Disney?
Sleeping afterward. So here's the deal. My daughter's like a Disney-aholic. She's been going since she was little. She loves Disney. Her, has connections. So it's always been possible for her to go, sometimes multiple times a year. She's been to Disney World. She's, the girl has lived her life. And of course, that's all she wanted to do for her birthday. So she loves it. She always has. Her dad loves amusement parks. They're actually doing Knott's on Saturday as well. I hate amusement parks. I don't actually like people that much. It takes me a minute to warm up to them. Once I warm up, I'm great. Or I'm drunk, then I'm everyone's friend, and I'm coming home with you. But just in general, sober me doesn't like big situations involving crowds. So I'm not over the top excited about it. We're doing a character breakfast, so I'm kind of excited about that because I know she's excited.
I'm excited because I'm sending you shopping for me.
Right. Oh, no, she's already talked
I've
about
already given
that
her a
as
fucking
well.
list. Here's all the things I need.
Gina, I wouldn't curse any women with my exes.
There's only a couple of exes I would hook other people up with. There's some. They're not exes because we never dated, but there's some guys I can suggest to some ladies because it's a damn good time, but that is all it is. Don't try to date these crazy boys.
It's a damn good time.
Damn good time.
This is likely a Diablo Cody movie waiting to be made. Yes, the Black Ops mission. Yes, for sure.
Let's do it.
So Disney. So anyway, I'm super excited. I'll be super excited to be home at the very end. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, you do what you do for your kids. So I
We make
will.
sacrifices.
I'm going to tell you that one time in 6th grade, I forgot to pick my daughter up after school. And
Uh-oh.
one time, forgetting the fact I picked her up every million other times, but one time I did forget about her, and
You've never lived it down?
I've never lived it down. Like, literally, I'm reminded of it often. So I will use this as a reminder to balance that out. Like, I may have left you at school in 6th grade, but I did Disneyland for 3 days. So, Gina has 4 ex-husbands. Do you bump into them?
Wow.
Like, do you bump in?
That is a lot of ex-husbands. I have one ex-husband, and he's not my baby daddy, the guy I'm trying to hook people up with. I wouldn't hook anyone up with my ex-husband. He is the worst.
Have you seen him?
My
Like, that's the
ex-husband?
thing. Do people who have exes
No.
not
He
attached
lives
to their kids? Like, I obviously have to see my ex.
Yeah.
But do people have ex-spouses that they, like, bump into while they're in Home Depot?
No, he lives in another state. A state that my son has a goal to visit all 50 states. It's only going to be 49, just so you know. This is one state I won't go to. Just in case I might run into my ex, because it's a little state, so.
Rhode Island?
No.
Did I guess?
No.
It's the only tiny one I know.
No. It's not a tiny one. It's a little one, but it's not tiny. Starts with Al, ends with Bama. Full of, starts with race, ends with ism.
I wouldn't go there either.
I live there. I don't know what y'all are fucking talking about.
Oh, you didn't notice any racism when you lived in Alabama?
No, I lived there very briefly, and yeah, no, it wasn't, you know, it probably wasn't my favorite place to live.
I've never even driven through that state, and I'm like, it might be one of the drive-through states. Like, we stopped for gas. That counts as visiting.
Bree, my ex has been married 6 times. Yes, Bree, but your ex has also been married 6 times, sometimes double, though.
Twice to the same person.
Twice the same person.
Couple of times.
Like, more than once, I think, huh?
I have no idea what the whole thing is.
Bree, is it more than once? Like, I want to say it's 2, one of them being you, and you and one other. So you're gonna have to correct me there. Any possible Galaxy's Edge? An impossible Galaxy's Edge. Bree, nope. Okay, so it's just one that he was married to twice.
Could you take some pictures though
Yes.
of Galaxy's Edge? My kid's a Star Wars fan, and that's the only reason we would go back to Disney. But Disney is so expensive that I need more than one reason to go back to Disney. We went to Disney 8 years ago, and it was almost $1,000 just for 3 of us to spend 2 days in Disney. It was ridiculous.
You know, it's crazy. I mean, I'm gonna give Disneyland hand job parking lots just to get souvenir money. So don't worry, I got you covered though. I'll get yours first.
All right.
Bree, nope, never, none. So maybe I lied. Sometimes I make things up. I must have lied. I thought he was married to at least one spouse twice.
Because that just makes so much more sense. That would be why the number is so high, because you've married the same person multiple times. But if you've just been married to 6 different people,
It happens.
I mean, I guess. I don't know.
Listen, we discussed before the show started. I brought Johnny food. And he made some type of comment. I said you just so happen to be my longest relationship. So
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta feed you.
You're our longest steady dude, Johnny.
You're our man. I need you to fix my garbage disposal. So anyway, there's that. So Disney's happening. We also, I found this online on a friend we have a mutual friend, and she posted these horrible questions. So you guys in chat, like, I want you to participate as well. So it's not just her and I asking each other And Johnny, horrible questions.
We posted them just before we went live on our Facebook page. So if you go back there or pull it up, you can see there's 70 questions, right?
Whoa,
Yeah.
hold on.
70.
What in the 70? What in the days of our lives is this, Lisa? My brother-in-law is married to my husband's ex-mother-in-law.
What the fuck? Now that is right out of Alabama.
And Tim,
Read that again.
My brother-in-law is married to my husband's ex-mother-in-law.
Okay.
That's very strange.
Some days of our lives shiz.
That's all right. I have an ex whose brother and sister were banging. They weren't blood
Alabama?
related. No, it was here. They weren't related. They were stepbrother and stepsister, but it was like some straight up incest literotica movie bullshit. Like
I don't know. I have that
Like,
really hot
like
cousin
flowers
back.
in the attic.
Listen, that's totally different. That's a hot ass cousin.
It's a really hot
You didn't
cousin.
even know you had, and then
True.
you're like, "Ooh, that's
True.
a hot ass cousin."
True. I didn't know till 23andMe, and then 23andMe like connected me, and I'm like, dang, I got some good looking family. Like, I really, I'm like looking through some photos back in college just to make sure there was no, matchups there. So yeah, then found out I had a really good looking one there. I just realized I have a weird version of privilege growing up in Florida. Disney was a yearly thing, but I think it was cheaper for residents.
It is.
It is.
California residents
Same.
also get a
Yeah,
discount
same thing.
on the west side.
I mean, my discount's probably better than not my discount, my daughter's discount is probably better than your resident discount because she has her aunt
Is the whole total hookup.
is like a hookup.
Are we gonna ask each other questions?
So we might as well start out and then ask Johnny as well.
Yeah.
We'll just pick one. You get that one, I get this one.
All right.
Because they're different questions. But we want people in chat to answer them as well. And
Or-
if you have any, and they're supposed to be horrible questions. So if you in chat have any also that you want to ask or discuss, put it in chat.
Oh, there are some good ones on here that really kind of relate to what's going through my issues right now. So, what do you want to start with? I'm gonna start with number 9. Do you bite your nails?
Yes. I don't gnaw regularly. I chew my cuticles. And then if my nails are uneven, I bite. I used to be a big biter. It should be obvious. I have anxiety. I have a lot of anxiety-related tics. But before I had braces, I used to really be like a gnar. And then the braces, I couldn't quite get in there. So now I have an adaptation of nail biting. So how about you?
No, I've never been a nail biter.
Really?
Yeah, no,
You have short nails.
I
How
do.
about Johnny? Do you bite your nails?
Nope.
nope.
All right. How about anyone in chat? If you bite your nails.
Your
Nope.
turn.
Just you.
Just me. Coincidentally, number 69, do you believe in soulmates?
Yes, but I don't believe in singular soulmates. I believe that you can have multiple soulmates.
I agree.
I don't necessarily know
And that doesn't necessarily mean that just because
Relationship.
they're your soulmate doesn't mean that you're stuck with them for the rest of your life.
Right. It's one or done.
And it also doesn't necessarily mean it's a romantic or sexual
Right.
union.
Right.
Like, I
I've-
think Toxie is one of my soulmates.
I am, but that one's sexual.
It is.
But what I was going to say, I mean, I do believe I believe in the same kind of a version of soulmates, but I just have a firm belief that there are people who come in and enter and leave your life for different reasons at different times. And it doesn't necessarily mean that, your
But
souls are
that's something
connected.
different.
Well, it's kind of the same because
No, it's
your
not.
souls. Yes, it is. In
No, it's
my
not.
world, it can be because your souls can be intertwined.
Okay.
All right.
What the fuck ever? Just let me say my piece.
Yes, dear.
But
about-
I do believe it doesn't have to be like somebody you're stuck with, or that there's a set number, or there's a thing that goes around like you only get 3 or something. Tim bites his, Bree does not. Lisa's a nail biter. Bree believes it. Believes Maria,
Marissa.
Linda, Marissa, Linda. They believe in soulmates. Tim, I think soulmates are the people in your life that give you solar energy. Whoa, I'm a hippie. I think there's people that you just connect with, and your souls are meant to intertwine. Sometimes, honestly, it's the bartender. Like, I just feel that.
A good bartender knows how to entwine spirits.
Yeah, for me, it's a cocktail waitress. Yeah.
A cocktail waitress?
Have you ever made out in a bathroom?
Yes. I've had sex in a bathroom.
I have also had sex in a bathroom and made out in one.
Have you made out in a bathroom?
Of course.
Have you had sex in a bathroom?
Of course.
Have you guys done
You
it
know
while
why?
going to the bathroom?
No, I've
Because that's
never
where
done
the
a
fucking shower is.
Oh no!
Forgetting the shower.
Oh, you mean so having
Just
it
being
in the
in there.
shower in
Like,
the
let's
bathtub?
say let's make an addendum to this. Have you ever done it in a public bathroom?
Yes.
Yes.
That is still the same.
Yeah. Yes, I have, at a bar that doesn't exist anymore.
What did the health department shut it down?
Probably.
Because you had sex in the bathroom. So anyone else? Oh, Bree, I had sex in public bathroom. I know I was there. Tim, same. Okay, so there's that.
Next question.
Are you mean?
Yes, I am. But I'm
Okay.
funny, so most people think I'm joking.
Yes, when the situation calls for it.
I believe I demonstrated how mean I was just earlier when we were talking about exes.
Yes.
I try not to be. Like, my intention is to not be malicious. I think I can be mean sometimes. Maybe more than sometimes, I'm not sure. But
I know a
don't
lot of people-
intentionally do it.
I know a lot of people who said I thought you were a bitch when I first met you. Thank you. I'm glad. Because if you stuck around and got to know me after that, then you were worth it.
I know,
Oh,
and
and
you had to be like goaded into making coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Linda had sex in a park. Tim, the bar is shut down, but plaque still remains. Yeah,
Yeah,
baby.
it does. Sierra had sex here. I've not had sex in a national park, but I don't think that counts. In a city park, but I have been fingered in a city park recently.
So that's not
Well, maybe not
sex.
recently. It was a couple of years ago. No, it's not sex. I mean, unless you're talking about finger
That
sex.
neither is a blowjob.
I did, but not a park. It was a cemetery, and it was the side. And it was a very long time ago. Like, it was a field. It's back home in Pennsylvania.
Did he
Even
So you
I
sparkle?
guys all
haven't
spread out.
desecrated the
Did he sparkle?
sanctity of death.
It was like it hadn't fully consummated to the moment when we realized there were people over there. And so then we had to stop and, get back in the vehicle and apologize to Aunt Gertrude. So Lisa had sex in a hotel bathroom when her ex's family was in the other room. Bree's not mean. No, you're not Bree. Tim, I'm sarcastic as fuck, so yes. And Lisa, I have mean moments.
Oh, this is a good one. Do you miss anyone from your past?
Yes. But it doesn't have to be relationship-wise,
No,
does it?
it just says, do you miss anyone from your past?
I have a friend who was a friend of mine forever. And by forever, I mean since I moved to Vegas. And for many years, we were very close. And towards the end, I was a little self-absorbed with some personal stuff I was going through, and she had medical things she was going through. And I wasn't there for her, and I should have been. So it would be her.
Yes. I do miss some people from my past quite a bit. They made enormous emotional impacts on me, and sometimes I just miss those connections that we had.
How about you?
Yes, of course.
No,
Thank you for elaborating.
Thank you for
It's
that.
obviously you're new to radio. I appreciate it.
What's the question?
do you miss
okay, I forgot
do you
it,
miss
too.
anyone from your past?
Yes.
That's all the
Yes,
question. That was all
sorry.
it was. You didn't have to elaborate.
Yeah. I guess.
Your best friend of the opposite sex likes you. What do you do?
Fuck 'em. I'm just saying, we're already friends. Let's have friend sex. Have you ever had sex with someone who's a good friend? Like, That shit's amazeballs because first off, you care about each other on an emotional level that is separate from a romantic emotional level. So you really truly want to satisfy that person. It's amazing. Having sex with a friend is amazing.
Free fuck
Isn't
'em.
it?
It is, I'm guessing.
It said opposite sex, not same sex.
So let's see. Bree has played Spin the Bottle regularly in a cemetery, obviously. Tim, do the dead count? Yes. I used somebody who's no longer here as my example. Bree misses someone from her past. Lisa, some specific friends? Absolutely, yes. Oh, that's banging the friends. Bree, fuck 'em.
Exactly.
Timothy agreed. How about you?
If
Can you
had
have
a-
sex with a friend?
Absolutely, and I agree with her.
That's me, by the way.
Yes.
He agrees with me.
Yeah,
Yeah, having sex with a friend is amazing.
because I forgot what to call you.
I've got like 5 names, so
I agree with the bitch.
the bitch. That's a good one. I like that.
Yes.
Have you ever broken someone's heart?
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah, I have too, and I am. At least one of them, I regret a ton that I broke his heart, like a shit ton. I was a monster in my early 20s, just so you all know, an absolute monster. Until I got pregnant with my kid, I really didn't be not a monster until after I got pregnant with my kid. I broke a guy's heart that I met in the Army. We met serving together, and I totally broke his heart. He even flew out to spend Christmas with me and stuff, and I was awful. That was terrible. Woo!
Lisa, I've not been a heartbreaker. Tim, yes, and I felt horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Brie, I have broken hearts. It's not easy. I mean, unless you're an ass or a monster, as some have claimed. Like, you don't set out to do it, but
Yeah.
it happens for, whatever the reason is.
It happened. I was terrible. I have reformed. I'm not as terrible as I used to be. Still terrible, but not that bad anymore. All right.
Do you give out second chances too easily? Johnny.
Yes.
I mean, Sierra.
Yes, I do, quite easily. As a matter of fact, I could name 5 people, I won't, but I can name 5 people right now that if they came back and were like, hey, I'd be like, come back, even though...
Wait, do that again?
Come back. Because I'm an idiot. I'm a terrible, monster, mean idiot.
How about you?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you give out second chances too easy?
I'm a pretty easygoing person. I forgive a lot, so yes.
However,
However,
once you reach that point, that's it.
I still do
Yeah.
it even after that point because
some people, and I'll admit this, there are some people who can go and come and go and come and go and come as often as they fortunately they're not actually going and coming, but there are people in my life that aren't in my life right now that could walk away and be accepted back with open arms almost every single time because for reasons.
I know, because the sex was great, right?
they don't always have to be sad. I mean,
No.
I have one where it's my sister that, I mean, I literally have had to have a restraining order against her. I've had to go to court over her. But yet I showed up at prison, like, bringing her presents when she got out. I'm like, sure, you stole a shit ton from me, but let's move into my house. Like, you know, that kind of stuff.
I've got a former friend right now that if that friend wanted to rekindle our friendship, I would in a fucking heartbeat. Because this goes right back to, do you miss anyone from your past?
I've broken hearts because they fell too hard, too fast. Bree. Bree, I've given 20th chances. And Lisa, I've given 5th, 6th, 12th, and 15th chances. It's a bad weakness of mine. Yeah, but I also think people are deserving of that. I mean, I think that, we're not perfect and we all make mistakes. And, hopefully we learn from them and all that great stuff. And sometimes we don't. I mean, I'm often guilty of that myself. I'm like, why do you even want me around you people? Like, I'm horrible. And I'm like, oh, thank you for forgiving me. Is my turn? Have you ever walked outside completely naked?
Yes. Yes, I have. Multiple times in many locations because I'm a nudist.
Johnny, have you been outside fully naked?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, mine's yeah.
Yeah.
But to go back,
Wait, who has not?
There's a lot of people. I know
Really?
some people.
a while ago, before I got corrupted by you fuckers. I mean, I'll tell you a really fast story, but I had a friend who, the very first time I went to her house, and she's like, hey, sometimes when we have parties, like, we swim naked in the pool. And the very first time I remember going, I'm like, guys, can y'all turn around? Like, and I'm standing there holding a towel up and covering myself. I'm like, can you stop hearing the splash and me getting in the pool?
Now you're lucky if we aren't completely naked before we walk in.
I always use the time where we went to her house and we were all drinking, and like all of a sudden I'm just naked in her kitchen, and nobody else was naked, by the way. I was the only one. And she's like, sweetie, get your bare ass out of my kitchen. That's where I make dinner. But I was like, are we swimming? What's happening? Like, what's going on? So I definitely evolved over time, but I can understand the those who may not have, been as comfortable. Tim, I think it's because we all want to see the best possible version of people. Absolutely.
Oh, being naked?
Yes, that too.
I think that's the best possible version of everyone.
Yeah.
Yes to my pool and sold hot dogs from a vending truck nude at a nudist camp.
I really want it. There's a couple in Florida. There's one in Florida specifically that I want to go to, and there's a couple in Mexico that I want to go to. Like, I just want to go to I've wanted to go to a nudist resort for a long ass time.
At my old house, the houses like sit on top of each other. And I used to let my dog out while I was naked. And I would stand out back. Like, the only people that could see me are the house, like, really directly behind me. And it was just, they were two adults. So, again, I'm not walking out there with all their kids, like, peering through the window. It was just adults. But I would go out every morning, like, and they would be in the kitchen. And, we had those awkward moments. But I'm like, I'm in my home at my back door, like, I'm not doing it. And swear to God, they put blinds up. Not even just on the back, like, window, the doors that open, but then they put them on. There was a patio kind of covering, and they put them down there too.
They don't have to see your naked ass.
So,
do you have any piercings?
only I used to have a shit ton up and down my ears, many of which I did myself, surprisingly. I even had up here and on the side, but I have none now.
I used to have my eyebrow, my tongue, my belly button, and I've had my ears pierced before. As a matter of fact, my tongue was gauged to a 0, which is about that big around. It was a pretty big gauge. But I don't have any piercings right now, which is kind of weird. I'm thinking I might go this weekend and get my ears re-pierced, because I got a beautiful pair of earrings from a wedding I went to, and I'd like to wear them, but I can't right now.
I'm feeling the older than midlife crisis.
Who, me?
No, for me.
Oh.
So, I mean, I should go with you sometime. I keep asking my daughter, do you want to go get our noses pierced together? And she's like, well, I'm not fucking piercing my... Well, she doesn't say fucking. She's like, I'm not going to pierce my nose. Like, don't do that. So, of course, now I want to do it even more.
Go with me. I'll get my ears, you get your nose.
But also, I get a lot of boogers, so I'm not sure how
My
that's
sister
going to
did
work.
too. I'll tell you, it lays so flat against the inside of your nose that you don't really get a whole lot of boogers on there. But you can just take like a damn cotton swab, get up there and just swab it out.
I have allergies, so I don't want to have like a booger farm building on my piercing, and I'd actually like a small loop.
That would be super fucking cute on you, by the way.
Hashtag
Just
Yeah.
a tiny little.
And then, of course, I finally decided what I want for a tattoo, which for years I said I wanted to get my cat's paw, but then she passed away and I forgot to get a paw print. So I realized I better do it now, because I have one of my other cats whom I forced to love me by cuddling her really hard and telling her that she needs to love me. And so I've been thinking, like, I should do Chili's paw print.
My sister has each one of her cat's paw prints. After they pass, she gets it tattooed.
But did she get their actual paw print?
Yeah. Because when we have them cremated or when we
Right,
take them to the
they'll do
disposal, yeah, they'll take a paw print for you, and so
I
she uses
forgot.
that.
Just read just one in each ear. Tim, I pierced my ear in class once and let it close eventually.
Cool. When let's see. Now let's do broken heart. What's irritating you right now?
My bra. It keeps sliding down this shoulder. And so for as much as I swore I'm not going to fidget tonight, the bra strap is not cooperating. It is a nice cheetah bra, though.
Mine is my sleeves. I am not a full sleeve kind of person. First off, I bought this jacket maybe a size too big. But as you can see, I have the cuffs up because I don't like things over my hands. But I'm usually like a 3/4 sleeve kind of person. So my sleeves are irritating me right now because they won't stay up.
I'm the same way. I don't like things touching my neck unless it's an intentional neck thing.
Like a necklace?
Yeah, we'll go with the necklace.
Oh, she
But,
likes to be choked.
But otherwise, I don't like anything touching my neck, like whatsoever. Like I wear a lot of V-necks. The last time when I wore the horse T-shirt, the Pawnee Sebastian, because it was a regular collar, like I just kept pulling it all day because it was touching me.
I usually wear a scoop or a V-neck like that, but I like the way turtlenecks look on me because they hide my double chin. So I like wearing turtlenecks, but I can't wear a mock turtleneck like the one like Steve Jobs used to wear.
I
Like
know what
that's
you're
just so annoying.
I used to wear turtlenecks on their own, like in high school and stuff. I was a huge fan of turtlenecks.
That was mine. So you're next.
That was yours. My bell, it's like a syndrome or something.
What'd she say? My bowels. Oh.
His bowels, Tim's bowels are
Okay.
irritating him.
Do you have an irritating bowel syndrome or something?
Lisa, no piercings, but I've thought about getting my nipples done.
My sister had them done. She really liked them. My boyfriend, he has his done, and it's kind of hot. I think it's hot when guys have unexpected piercings, like their nipples pierced. Like really, it's mostly punk dudes who get their nipples pierced. I don't know. I'm into that, so.
Oh, my cat, he's begging for my ham sandwich. Give him the fucking ham sandwich, Bree!
Don't give your cat the ham sandwich.
Do it, do it.
All right, question.
So my question is, this one's not a hard question. I don't know why it's on this list. What is your favorite color?
Blue. I specifically like jewel tone blues. So like teals and aquamarines and ultramarines, like that, like jewel tone blue.
Jewel tone. Very specific.
Yeah.
Mine is gray.
Because it goes with everything.
I love gray everything, and it makes my eyes pop. So.
How about you, Johnny?
Green.
Green? Oh, you can't see it on YouTube. Facebook can see it, though.
No, actually, I like browns and golds.
Oh, yeah. That's a really nice
Yeah,
combination.
earthy.
I got a lot of, like, not horrible questions either.
I
like,
know. What a misnomer here. Oh, royal blue, Tiffany blue. I like Tiffany blue.
Ooh, yeah, Tiffany blue.
Bree, I share. I
fuck
heard.
is Tiffany
I
blue?
heard.
Have you ever seen a Tiffany,
Tiffany
the
box.
jewelry
Yeah, the
box?
jeweler.
You
Yeah.
know the color blue they use on their boxes?
It's like a patented color.
No,
Yeah, okay. Look up Tiffany blue. It's
I had
beautiful.
breakfast there once.
Ha 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 ha.
Damn, you old as fuck. Yeah, I've got stupid shit like,
What makes you happy?
what makes me happy? My
Yeah.
dogs. My kid. My kid and my dogs.
I know it sounds lame, but doing this show makes me happy.
Yeah. Johnny?
Just one thing.
Just one.
Just one thing.
Doesn't have to be like the most important. It's just whatever comes to mind. It's your penis, isn't it?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Your penis makes me happy too, Johnny.
I mean, I guess my
That's what
backup
she
could be
said.
Duracell.
When was your last physical fight?
Ooh.
So, I'm not a fighter. I'm like a complete pussy when it comes to that. I'm absolutely the one, like I've always warned my friends, if there's ever a fight, I have your back. It's just that I'll
Literally
have it from
behind you.
back in the corner crying, curled up, like, don't fall on me, don't come near me. I'm super not a fighter. However, one time, my sister is a fighter, big time, and I called her a slut one time, and she walked by me and just started pounding on me, wailing, and my mom and my ex-stepdad like had to come pull her off, and she's like kicking and punching, and I was just sitting there crying, like I didn't even attempt to defend myself.
So the last physical fight I got in was about 2 days before I found out I was pregnant. My baby daddy and I were staying at his apartment, and his ex showed up, and she tried to start some shit with him, and like hit him, and he wouldn't hit her back because he's a nice guy. And so I went out there, and she and I basically like wailed on each other. I broke her glasses.
Oh no, there's
like
no
I
way.
gave her 2 black eyes. All she did was pull some hair out, but we wailed on each other. And she was like, I'm pregnant with twins. I'm like, bitch, you ain't pregnant. And then I was sitting down after that fight, and I was like, it's been a minute since I had my period. So the last physical fight I was in led me to find out that I was pregnant with my kid. So it was 14 years ago.
Nice.
I am not embarrassed by that at all.
I'm
by
the
the
one
way.
who like, I jump into stupid things. Like I used to work in a hotel like a million years ago, and we were not. It was in San Diego, so the Navy guys would come on the weekends, and my bosses had all said we don't let the Navy guys in anymore because they start brawls. Like they start fights. They come, they party, they start huge fights. So I don't listen, and they're cute. And so I'm always like, no, I got a room. And they're like, can I have one of the good rooms? I'm like, yeah, of course. I mean, absolutely. And so I'm in there, and I'm at the front desk, and it's like almost 11 at night, and I work, solo shifts. And my phone board starts going. And so, like, I'm answering, and they're like, there's a huge fight outside. There's a huge fight. So everyone's calling. And I got my plastic flashlight, and I go out, and I'm, like, trying to just get right in the middle. And I'm like, you guys, like, you have to stop. And my high-pitched, voice, I'm like, please stop this. But I, like, kind of dove myself right in there trying to diffuse the situation. So I'm not they were fighting. So I stupidly, like, tried to get in there.
And you were in the area, so.
I also used to, my ex-husband had a bit of a temper, and it turns out we had this friend that we used to hang out with them. It was a husband-wife combo, and he had a bit of a temper. So between the two of them, they actually would get into fights often. Like, we would all go do something, and the next thing we know, we're like, fuck, they're fighting again. So there were times there that, both of us would kind of be diving in like, stop.
Johnny, when was your last fight?
I don't really remember exactly. I mean, it's been a while. And I don't usually fight because I don't know when to stop.
Did you fight when you were in the services, though?
I stop when
Pardon
they
me?
pass out.
Did you fight when you were in the services, like
Oh, yeah.
in bars and
And
stuff?
that-
I mean,
yeah,
not when you were killing
see,
people.
that's the problem is, your training takes
You're
over,
trained to
and,
do it,
and
yeah.
you don't, you're not there to fight. You're there to end the fight
Yeah.
or the person that you're fighting. So
One last. Well, what did our?
Linda's grandson makes her happy. My son and grandkids. Toxie makes me happy. Thank you. Bree's never been in a fight. Lisa's never been in a fight. John loves BBW, and Linda's phone is dying. And Tim said, here's a horrible question I keep thinking about. Do you think you have purchased a piece of clothing you will die in?
Yes. I do. I keep a lot of my clothes for a really long time. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I have a piece of clothing that I'll die in. And it's probably my Star Wars undies.
I'll make sure they're put on you.
Thanks.
If not, I will like come into the scene of the crime and be like, hold up,
She
gotta
assumes
change
I'm
your
gonna
pants."
be murdered.
I mean, I was just guessing. I'm just guessing.
It's a good way to go. All right, one last question, and then we got to wrap it up because we're at 3 minutes. When was the last? No. I should have picked one. Have you ever made a boyfriend or girlfriend cry?
Ooh.
Yes.
I have too. As we have already discussed, I was a terrible person in my early 20s. Johnny?
Yes.
Yes. I think
Yeah.
most of us have.
And that's not a nice thing.
No, it's not a nice
Yeah.
thing. Like I said, I was terrible. I learned my lesson. I'm a way better person now. YouTube, we talked about it earlier. Please subscribe. Click the bell icon if you want to get notifications. Patreon, the patch project is going on right now. Any level of Patreon for any amount of time, you can send me a patch. I'll put it on my jacket and give you a shout out about it. Follow us on Facebook. We are on Facebook way more than we are on any of our other social medias. Toxie has an Instagram account that she is super into. She sometimes has a blog.
So I do have a blog. I had some posts that never made it onto the blog, and I'm like, oh, were they just bad? Or maybe she forgot. It's okay. It's okay. I'll write new ones. I'll write fresh ones.
If you think of any more questions you would like to ask us, put them in the comments below. Shoot us a message on Facebook or email us sincitybounty@gmail.com. We have a lot of stuff coming up in the new year. The Winter Bash is coming up in like 4 months, 5 months. So we're
Right.
going to talk about that next week.
We have Stu's Bash coming up. We have Breeze
Summer
that we
Bash.
talked about last week. Breeze Summer Bash. Stu, Bree over the summer. Also the
The one that's going to be done.
Curvapalooza.
Yeah, that one.
Excellence Plus, Breeze Pop-Up Party,
Curvapalooza.
Curvapalooza.
Google them. You can find all the shit that we didn't talk about today. I'm Sierra.
Taxi.
We'll see you next week.
If you're brave enough.
Later, bitches!
We are still